Let's talk about tire pressures a little bit. Get a lot of questions about tire pressure. So the manufacturer of these trucks give you a pressure rating to go that's on a yellow tag. Generally the yellow tag is in the driver's area, where he sits in the driver's area. It's either on the wall by his right leg, or the older trucks it was behind the driver's seat, but always in this area. Sometimes, depending on the vehicle, there'll be a tag in the door jamb, but these big trucks, there's always a yellow tag either there or behind the seat. So they put a pressure on that tag. That's not necessarily the best pressure for each unit. It's a recommended pressure they give out, but not best for each unit. So the tires also have, if you ever read a tire, there's markings on here labeled, there's a tire pressure on here too. Sometimes I get questions about that. That's a maximum pressure that the tire manufacturer themselves put on there that the tire is rated for, but again, not the recommended pressure for each unit. Every unit is a little different depending on the truck. So tire pressure. I often get asked a lot of times about what's the best pressure for the vehicle they're driving, the unit they're driving. It's kind of a little tricky. Depending on the tire, whether it's a brand new tire, if you get a brand new tire with the tread that's real tall, you don't want to get too much pressure in them. And then again, you don't want to get too little pressure in them. So put too much pressure in a tire, it creates a kind of a bubble effect. So you get a kind of a bubble in the tire, so you're not getting as much road surface. If you get too little air pressure in a tire, you get too much road surface. Too much air can cause drifting. It can feel like you're fighting the steering all the time. It's walking around on you a little bit. And too little air, you can get scuffing in the turns. It can actually damage the tires a little bit if you get too little air. So what's a good pressure? A little tricky. So a good all-around pressure for most units is 110 psi. And that can change a little bit depending on the vehicle again, but 110 psi is a pretty good reading. Now for the contenders, the 2009 and 2010 contenders, we like a little lower air pressure on those. So we like to tell everybody about 90 to 100 psi on those trucks. And those 2-year models of those trucks. So that pressure rating will work a little better for those tires. So tire pressure, foreign objects in tires. So it's a good idea when you're doing your weekly check, just give the tires a little look-see. You'd be surprised how many times I walk by a tire, just walking by doing something else, and I'll look over there and I'll see a nail or some kind of foreign object in a tire. Or the tread itself is extremely low. If you know what a racing slick is or a ball tire is, you can look and you can see it's just kind of smooth across the tread. So you want to let us know about foreign objects. You want to let us know about low tread. I or somebody can come out and check on it. If you want to try removing the foreign object, the nail, the screw, yourself, a good way to go about that is to hit it with some soapy water first. If you see bubbles, stop. Don't do anything else. Call the shop, let us know, or turn in an email concern for that. And if you don't see any bubbles, then go ahead and try removing the object. Just a little bit. Don't pull it out all the way. Just give it a little bit of a wiggle and then hit it with the soapy water again. A lot of times they won't leak. I've seen that where they won't leak until you pull on and move it a little bit. And hit it again with soapy water after you move it. If it still doesn't leak, go ahead and remove it the rest of the way. And then a third time, or follow up, hit that area that the nail or screw was in again with soapy water, just to double check it to see if it's okay. If you don't get any bubbles, fine. Just proceed along and continue on. It should be fine. You didn't get deep enough to get into the tire itself. So that should pretty much do it. Of course, weekly check your tire pressure like I know y'all all do. And if you have any questions, as always I say, you can ask me or call the shop.